Should we, once we're on there, should we say, stay tuned, the ceremonies will begin shortly? Put it down.
In the beginning here, Comm is being announced.
Okay.
Thank you. test my microphone here. Can everybody hear me okay? Thank you. Sonia, I am 1 minute away from getting started. Are you okay with that? All right. Well, what do you say if we get started at 6 o'clock? And before we begin, I'll introduce myself. My name is Tom Ryford, and I'm the Assistant Secretary of the Maryland Department of Commerce. And it's my pleasure to be your Master of Ceremonies tonight. And I have an announcement that came from our college president, Colonel and Dr. James Klauber, who is our host here at the Hagerstown Community College. First of all, give him a round of applause. Jim Klauber. Retired Colonel of the United States Army National Guard, and thank you for your service, by the way, Colonel. And he reminded me that at about 5 o'clock this afternoon, Governor Larry Hogan, who is my boss, announced that if you're comfortable without wearing a mask indoors, that is okay. You can take your mask off. There is no longer a mask mandate as of midnight tonight. However, Hagerstown Community College operates on an unusual time zone, and he said it's midnight right now. We actually did some legal checking and that kind of thing, and he has the authority to do so. So if you feel comfortable with removing your mask, that's fine, especially if you've had your vaccinations and that kind of thing. However, if you want to continue to wear a mask, that's fine also. But the governor made that announcement just a little over an hour ago. So it's all exciting for all of us as this COVID pandemic continues to clear itself up and we get to the light at the end of the tunnel, which isn't a train coming at us, but it's actually a good thing. So let's get started, please. A couple of announcements. Please silence your telephones. There's a lot of things that are going on. It's okay to take photographs, and it's okay at the appropriate time to cheer and to applaud wildly in your pride over the graduates that are here tonight. We'll get started now. Our color guard will be coming in, so let's get started. Please stand for the presentation of colors by the IAFF 1605 Color Guard with James Martinez, the bagpiper from Montgomery County Firefighters, the Pipes and Drum Corps, and the entrance of the Emergency Communications Academy and the Firefighter Academy recruit class. The very first one, number 1. Let's give them a round of applause. Here they come. And now our national anthem will be sung.
Ready, act. Ready, drop.
This is Teresa Jacobs. She's married to Eric Jacobs, the operations manager for the Division of Emergency Services.
Present. Arms. Crew class 1, present arms.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Order. Heart. Ready, aim. Order. Heart.
And now our invocation will be delivered by the Reverend Richard Bauer.
Please join me in prayer. Gracious Almighty God, we thank you for the opportunity we have to come together and celebrate these 43 distinguished fire EMS communication graduates and their family members at this momentous time in their life. Lord, we know how many young men and women grow up with aspirations of being fire and EMS and emergency communication services. Yet few there are who demonstrate the determination, the skill, the dedication needed to excel in this volunteer and career challenging academic journey, and who are equipped now to start on the new journey here in Washington County. We thank you for the loving support of the family members, some of whom are which here tonight. And we also give thanks for the instructors and the other personnel who have prepared these candidates over the last 8 to 10 weeks. May they now be given the focus and strength they need to face the application of their training that lays ahead, and to move forward to serve the various EMS fire stations and the EMS communication headquarters with the same integrity, selflessness, excellence that has brought them to this point today. For it is in all these things we ask in your most precious name. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend. Folks, you may be seated now. Thank you. First of all, let's give a round of applause again for the color guard. That was wonderful. Thank you. I don't know where Teresa Jacobs went, but that was a great national anthem. Let's give her a round of applause. I am to introduce several folks here that are up on the stage and also here in the audience. First of all, he is the chairman of the Washington County delegation to Annapolis. The world-famous delegate Bill Weibel is here. Delegate from 2A. Where is he? There he is, right there. Also, is it true that Delegate Mike McKay is here from Cumberland? Is he here? He's not here. Let's give him a round of applause anyways. Also, the president of the Washington County Board of County Commissioners is here, the very famous Jeff Klein, who takes more pictures than anybody. There he is, Jeff Klein right there. There are other county commissioners here, including Randy Wagner, I think, is here. Randy Wagner, there he is. Nice to see you, Randy. Also, our county administrator is here, John Martirano. Where's John? There he is, right there. Hi, John. And before this is all done, I will have introduced all of you. No, just kidding. Today, we are graduating 24 firefighter apparatus operators and 5 captains who will serve as firefighter paramedics. The Firefighter Academy has received support from many agencies and also many individuals. Without each of them, we wouldn't have been able to move this Firefighter Academy forward. The firefighters have completed this 8-week academy that served to refresh skills, allow evaluation of strengths and weaknesses, and also allowed the entire group to form bonds and to get to know each other before sending them off into their fire stations. The new firefighters and paramedics will be placed in 4 regional stations throughout Washington County and will respond on higher priority calls in addition to serving our local communities. And in the months to come, 3 to 4 other fire stations around the county will be receiving some type of this full-time firefighter staffing. Now, this journey would not have been possible without the strong partnerships that we have with each of our county's volunteer fire and EMS companies, all of whom work very hard to serve the citizens of Washington County 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And let's give that a round of applause. We're also graduating 14 emergency communications specialists tonight. Several of these graduates will immediately move into full-time positions. The remaining recruits will serve as part-time employees, adding significant depth to the Emergency Communications Center. Each of the new specialists have spent the last 10 weeks learning all of the intricacies of the 911 Center. The communications recruits work to master the skills necessary for 911 calls that include fire, EMS, and law enforcement operations, and many other systems that are the necessary parts of 911 operations. I'd like to bring up to the podium now to make a few introductions and comments. Please welcome David Hayes, our Director of Emergency Services. David?
Tom, you've probably never heard me speak. It's not just a few words for me. As a matter of fact, Commissioner Wagner puts me on a 100-word limit. We're probably going to beat that tonight. So anyway, I'd like to start off by congratulating our firefighter and emergency communications specialist cadets completing the first part of your new journey as a Division of Emergency Services career firefighter and emergency communications specialist. Congratulations. So before I get to you, the cadets and the communications specialists, I got to first take a few minutes and address those who are responsible for nurturing and getting you here today. So with that in mind, let's get started. I'd like to start off by personally thanking each of you that are in attendance here tonight to help celebrate a monumental milestone for the fire and EMS services of Washington County, but also the continuation of education and placement of communication specialists for the 911 Center. You're going to help us recognize 8 to 10 weeks of hard work, and many times were these folks that probably second-guessed their choice to be here. So I'm happy that all the candidates stayed with us, and I'm happy that you're here as part of their extended family to make this a great night for them. We also extend a sincere debt of gratitude to the Board of County Commissioners and our County Administrator for ensuring that public safety and the needs of our citizens always comes first. Let's give them a round of applause. Their willingness to pursue the hiring and placement of career firefighters alongside our dedicated volunteers will strengthen the future of our service delivery. We are sincerely appreciative of the FEMA staff who reviewed our application and grant and awarded over $8 million to Washington County's budget, which made today possible. I want to thank and proudly apologize to our county staff and other departments who had to endure the division's constant nagging, to include our overbearing push to get the firefighters hired and out to work. So we apologize for that. We know that there were certainly times when we were short, seemingly unappreciative, and dismissive of your commitments to other needs for other county departments. Please know that we do recognize and we do appreciate the efforts, and without you again, this night would not have been possible. A shout out goes to our public relations team and their director, Danielle Weaver. Your team has proved that once again, you're second to none. So let's give Danielle and her team. There are also a number of our own division staff that I'd like to recognize here tonight. And the first of those being Deputy Director Kevin Lewis. Director Lewis carried the burden and built out of this academy, and in doing so, assembled a great team of fellow instructors. And I don't have this in the program, but if you were part of the instructor cadre for either the ECS Academy or the Firefighter Academy, whether you put in 1 hour or 100 hours, I'm going to ask you to stand, and that would include those that are on the stage tonight behind me. So if you're part of that, please stand and be recognized. There are two other people in our office that I'd like to thank, and they're really the unsung heroes behind tonight and just about any other day for the division. And the first one would be Bonnie Keltner. She's affectionately known as Miss Bonnie to many people. She's been with the division over 15 years, served with Director Lewis, and has been with me for 5 years. And she keeps our office running smoothly and makes sure that we meet deadlines when we need to. And the second one would be Miss Sonia Hoover, also known by the recruits as Mom. We saw that today. These two individuals worked hard and tirelessly for the last 8 weeks, making sure that the cadets in the ECS Academy had all the things they needed to produce a successful outcome. I'd like to thank Director Chisholm, Volunteer Coordinator Oli Griffith, Assistant Director Brian Albert, both our Fire and EC Operations Managers, Shelby Hall and Eric Jacobs, and all the other captains and soon-to-be lieutenants, firefighters, EMS workers, and our communications technicians for all you do for Washington County and for being a part of a great team with a one team, one mission attitude. Special thank you goes to President Fishak, Dale Fishak of the Washington County Volunteer Fire and Rescue Association and its member companies for their continued partnership and continued support. I'd like to thank Kingsley Poole and Dick Hopkins, who are the co-chairs of the Emergency Services Advisory Council, which continuously has reviewed our operations, gives us advice and ideas on how to build the system in the county. And then the many departments that provided equipment and apparatus for the cadets during the last 8 weeks. We also want to thank the Hagerstown Community College, President James Clawber, who graciously allowed us to host all of our academics here with really no charge. They've given us this room tonight and given us staff to support all of those needs. I'd like to thank Chief Tom Coe from the Frederick County Department of Fire Rescue and Chief Steve Lohr of the Hagerstown Fire Department, Sheriff Mullendore in the Washington County Sheriff's Office, Chief Joey Keifer in the Hagerstown Police Department. There are many more to thank, and to try to name them here would simply cause errors and omissions. So we ask each of you to know that we take pride in your work and contributions that help to make this Academy a success. So now that we've got the obligatory thank yous in order, we're going to get over to you, which is who we are here for tonight. To the cadets of ECC recruit classes 16, 17, and 18, while some of you have waited quite some time to get here tonight, you should know that each of you are joining the team together. That means we look out for one another, we laugh with one another, and most importantly, we take care of one another. As you begin your journey that you put on the road leading you here tonight, you've probably questioned yourself many times over. You most likely had questions like, what am I doing here? Can I really do this? And maybe even said, this is just not for me. Whatever your reasons were over the last 10 weeks, for some reason, you stayed the course and you walk across the stage tonight, and I'm proud of you for that. As you continue to move forward and these questions come forward again, you will need to trust in your education skills and knowledge to pull you through. You will be tested, but remember, you've got this. While you may not get all the celebration of the title being referred to as Recruit Class 1, make no mistake, you're as equally as important to us as that first class was, Recruit Class 1 for the ECS. Recruit classes from the cadets from the Recruit Class 1. On March 22nd, I had the privilege of standing before you on your first day as a county employee as you began this new journey. For me, it would be one of those days that you'll always remember. And I can remember things as if they were yesterday. We actually talked about that today. Each of you sat patiently, but secretly, you were anxious, waiting for the mumbling of your senior leadership team to fade so that you could get down to business. It probably seemed like hours, and I'm guessing that would probably sound a lot like Charlie Brown's teacher. Throughout the next 8 weeks, your days and nights involved countless hours of study, physical training, workouts, team building, and just getting to know each other. You had the fire in your eyes and the determination in your hearts and minds. In simple words, you knew you would not fail. I sat secretly cheering week by week, cheering each of you on, listening to the instructors give us comments about how well your process was going, and we did the weekly team meetings. Over the last 8 weeks, many of you overcame skill sets that maybe had become stale throughout the years. Many of the group, myself included, would find that we were not quite the lumberjacks of our younger years. I'm reasonably comfortable in saying that many of you probably had to do some self-reflection, asking yourself, what am I doing here? The answer is simple. You were built to serve. So, I'm going to close out by congratulating you. When you walk across the stage tonight, you've done something that no one has done before you here in this county, and that is become the first recruit class to graduate and walk across the stage and receive the promotion to Firefighter Class Operator. So congratulations, thanks for listening, proud of all of you, and I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, sir. Next up, coming up to the podium, will be another guest speaker. He is a delegate in House of Delegates representing 2A here in Washington County and the chairman of the Washington County delegation. Please welcome to the microphone the award-winning Bill Weidel. Bill?
Mr. Rayford. Is it Colonel?
No, I was only
A sergeant, okay. Well, still, thank you for your service, sir. It's awesome to see so many recruits here this evening. And I tell you, it was refreshing to hear the young lady over here applauding during the singing of the national anthem. I want to thank you for your patriotism. So on behalf of the Washington County delegation to the Maryland General Assembly, I would like to say congratulations and thank you. It's often been said to find what it is you enjoy doing and do it for a living. For myself, that was studying accounting right here at ACC where I got my start. I think your career choice is probably a little more exciting than mine. But while the work you selected may not be enjoyable, I think you'll find it to be most rewarding. Selecting a career in which you provide service to others in their time of need will provide you with job satisfaction and a true sense of accomplishment. When I think about the fire service, I often think about Dale Hill. Many of you may not have known him or remember him, but Dale departed this life way too early. But while here, he dedicated his life to fire service, and I often found him to be a valuable resource when we had legislation coming before us in Annapolis. I encourage each of you to find a role model like Dale Hill and become that go-to guy or gal. Be respected in your personal life and in your professional careers. Be true to your word. Be the source of knowledge. Be open-minded and always willing to learn and to listen. But most importantly, be safe. Again, my congratulations, and may God protect, bless, and reward each of you as you go through this journey called life.
Thank you, Delegate. That was wonderful. I appreciate that. And now, coming up to the podium, he's known by Lou Scally as the Digital Town Crier. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the podium Jeff Klein, the President of the Washington County Board of County Commissioners.
Before I begin, it's a proud and honor to be here, but it's always a risk when you follow Tom Rayford and Delegate Weibel. You never know what they're going to say about you. But on a serious note, good evening, everyone. And on behalf of the Board of County Commissioners, we wish to thank the myriad of individuals who made this night possible. As Director Hayes mentioned, there's so many people that worked so hard to culminate this night into an historic occasion. Tonight we celebrate the men and women who have chosen to dedicate their lives to public safety. We recognize the many sacrifices ahead that will be made as you serve the citizens of Washington County. You are our heroes. You live amongst us, and we will need you. You know, perhaps it'll be the worst day of our night when the 911 communication specialist calls that firefighter or EMT to come to our rescue. I've personally experienced that several times, and to look up and know that you're being served by a professional, whether you're career or volunteer, you still have that professional training. Your service will be instrumental in support of our volunteer system. Over the 10 years that I've been a commissioner sitting in that seat, more and more call and caseloads, more and more costs, more and more calls to call upon at all times of the night. It will be you there to support our volunteer system in teamwork and partnership to ensure safety from today and now into the future. In closing, thanks again for your commitment as we celebrate this historic occasion. Congratulations to each and every one of you tonight. You are appreciated. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate that. Did you notice at the very beginning of the ceremony, he took a picture of all of you. I don't know if you noticed that, but it'll be, is it already on Facebook?
10 million people have already viewed it.
10 million people have viewed that picture that he took of you. Next up, it's my pleasure to introduce it said President of Washington County, and I went, really? There's two? No. He's the President of the Washington County Fire and Rescue Association. Ladies and gentlemen, Dale Fishak, come on up here.
Thank you. Good evening and congratulations. As we look at this historic day for the Fire and EMS service in Washington County, many thanks go out to how we have gotten here. Thanks to the county government for understanding the volunteer system needed help and support. Thank you for the long-term investment, both financially and with dedicated personnel. Thank you to the federal government for programs and funding, such as the SAFER grant that got each of you here today. Thank you to the volunteer leadership of the Washington County Fire and EMS companies for identifying the need for assistance and pushing for that help. And finally, thank you for each of you recruits who took the risk to start a new chapter in your life and become part of Recruit Class 1. Much work has gone into reaching this historic day, but the work is far from over. Many may think this is the end, but really it's just the beginning. So as we as a fire and EMS community move forward, we are here to provide the citizens and each visitor to Washington County the best fire and EMS protection possible. That will only work when we operate as one united group. It doesn't matter if you wear a Department of Emergency Services patch or one of the 26 independent fire and EMS corporations of Washington County patch. Whether you get a paycheck or you're a volunteer, we must work together, live together in our stations, train together, and help each other. We are stronger together, and no one side can survive without the other. Your lives depend on the teamwork. The citizens' lives depend on the teamwork. And the success of the combination system depends on teamwork. To the government officials, this isn't the end for your support as well. We will continue to need funding and support in the days, weeks, and years ahead. You have shown your investment into public safety. Please continue, as this is not a one and done. I will leave you with this, and I want to be loud and clear. To the volunteers of the volunteer fire and EMS companies I represent, to the newest members of the Department of Emergency Services, to the leadership of DES, and to our government officials, failure is not an option. It has never been, and more so now than when we begin a new day. Combination, volunteer, and career systems can work when we work one and as a united team. Congratulations and best of luck to you.
Thank you, Dale, very, very much. We have a wonderful keynote speaker tonight. He has been serving our fellow citizens for 47 years. He first joined the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation in 2018 as the Director of Fire Service Programs after he had a 44-year career in the fire service. He is the Director of Fire Service Programs at the Foundation. Chief John Tippett began his career as a volunteer down in Montgomery County in 1974. He was hired as a career firefighter in that county 2 years later, and he spent the next 33 years with various departments and the county, around the county, serving as a firefighter, a company officer, and also a battalion chief. Additionally, he was an adjunct instructor, a member and later a task force leader of Maryland Task Force 1. That's a FEMA urban search and rescue team. He was an integral part of the department's firefighter safety program. He retired from Montgomery County in 2009 as the safety battalion chief to take a position with the Charleston, South Carolina Fire Department as its very first Deputy Chief of Operations. He spent the next 7.5 years as the operations deputy, assisting with the rebuilding of the department after the big Sofa Superstore fire. From 2017 to 2018, he served as the interim fire chief. He holds a bachelor's degree in fire science and a master's degree in emergency services management from Columbia Southern University. This gentleman has worked extensively on firefighter safety initiatives all throughout his career, including introducing crew resource management to the fire service and the firefighter near-miss reporting system. He has written and lectured frequently on all kinds of topics of firefighter safety, decision-making, leadership, strategy, and tactics. He earned his Chief Fire Officer designation from the Center for Public Safety Excellence in 2012 and was recertified in 2015. He's also a fellow with the Institution of Fire Engineers. He currently serves as an at-large board member of the International Association of Fire Chiefs Safety, Health, and Survival Section. He's a certified health and safety officer through the Fire Department Safety Officers Association, an instructor for the Blue Card Command Training Program, and a past president of the Charleston County Fire Chiefs Association. This gentleman was the International Society of Fire Service Instructors Instructor of the Year in 2006. Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm Washington County welcome to Chief John Tippett. John?
Well, good evening, evening, everyone. And I think the most exciting part about this evening is the historic moment of being here for the graduation of the first recruit class, as well as the ability to not wear a mask anymore. It is truly a privilege to be here for this historic event, and this is also a first for me, believe it or not. This is the first time I've delivered an address to a first graduating recruit class. So it's something that I'll remember as well, and as I move on to my career. I appreciate the introduction there. It's kind of nice when your mom and your wife get together and write stuff about you. It comes out really well. So on behalf of Chief Ron Sarnagy, the Executive Director of the National Fallen Firefighters Foundation, and the entire NFFF family, we want to extend our sincere congratulations and best wishes to all of you as you begin your careers in what many of us know as truly the best job in the world. This is also a rejuvenation every time you get a chance to talk to a recruit class. You've already heard some platitudes tonight about the first and the best and the requirement and commitment, and I want to continue to emphasize those points because they do make a difference in the things that you're doing tonight. It is a memorable moment in the proud history of Washington County's emergency service delivery system. As has been brought out tonight, it is time. Time moves on, time progresses. Things take place that require additional services to be provided to the citizens. The strength of any community lies in its ability to provide its citizens with a safe and comfortable and happy environment. But we all know, especially in emergency services work, that we can't count on human beings to do everything right all the time. And when that safety is threatened, a response of a swift, professional force to protect their lives and savable property is the responsibility of government. For decades and decades, that service has been provided by a combination of volunteer and career services. And it's a proud moment that Washington County is now entering a phase where they've embraced career firefighting as well as hanging on to their volunteer service. This evening marks the end of your initial training and beginning of your obligation to uphold the highest tenet of the fire service, and as serve others. And we'll talk more about that in a minute. With every milestone in life is historic, this ceremony is especially momentous for your families, the Washington County Emergency Services, the citizens and governing leaders of Washington County, and of course, we can't leave you out either. We're gathered tonight under the umbrella of several firsts that sets this graduation on its own plane. This is the first graduating class of Washington County Division of Emergency Services Fire Academy, as we've heard several times. But we want to keep saying that over and over again because there are responsibilities and accomplishments and requirements of being first. And that responsibility includes making sure you set the standard for every career firefighter who will follow. You provide a roadmap for all of those that will come after you. You ensure those who follow are encouraged, mentored, and given all the knowledge that's been given to you and will continue to accumulate in the coming days and years to come. You honor your instructors by modeling their knowledge, sharing examples, the way they gave of themselves to give to you. And you honor your families each and every shift by conducting yourself with the highest level of integrity and honoring the fire service by delivering compassionate service. There's no higher honor than to be accepted into this, the noblest of service traditions. I stand before you today saying I'm proud to have been a firefighter and I continue to serve my community as a firefighter. There's just never enough to give to others. And there's no greater responsibility than to uphold that highest tradition. This inaugural academy also has a unique distinction as being an amalgam of service disciplines, something very unusual in the fire service. You're graduating firefighters, company officers, ALS providers, and civilian dispatchers. As has been mentioned before, the team is coming together and brought together at one time. You represent the full spectrum of emergency service delivery, and as such, you open a unique window into the interoperability and interdependence each group has with each other. The alerting system we know today would not function or survive without that essential first responder, the telecommunicator. Their critical role in this delivery chain is fraught with high stress. because of the situation they operate under. The telecommunicator is the local government's forward-facing and critical information gathering link in all of the emergency service response that comes afterward. And that link begins with the system's critical step of orienting to the emergency. You can't provide service or resolve the situation without orienting to the emergency. Yet those telecommunicators are hamstrung in that gathering process because while we operate with 7 senses, they only get to use one, and that's hearing. And we are 80% versed in visual acuity. We try to do things visually 80% of the time. The telecommunicator has none of that privilege. This takes an extraordinary characteristics of self-control and concentration to weed through the anxiety and terror in the caller's voice. Maintain a calm demeanor to gather the information that will be passed to the emergency response force that comes next. Then they work the radio. They talk, they dispatch the call, they handle the emergency scene communications, operating with most of your senses stunted, trying to interpret and expected from the field perspective to know what they mean, what they're saying, what they're asking for, without being able to see any of what's happening. So it's incumbent on the emergency service providers to paint the picture for the telecommunicator so everybody works as a team. And at that pinnacle of responsibility, that telecommunicator, as we know, is often the first one to hear when a firefighter is in distress. A transmission no one wants to hear, but requires immediate action. I understand several of you are migrating from the 911 center to field operations. This places an additional burden on you to share that experience with your other field operations providers because it's invaluable as you have sat on the other side of that radio. Be sure to share that experience at every opportunity to maximize your understanding and improve everyone's ability to orient quickly to that emergency. To the captains and the ALS providers and the firefighters making up field operations discipline, you also represent that significant step for Washington County. Starting tomorrow, think about it, in less than 24 hours, there will be a new day in Washington County's emergency services delivery system. As with your participation in the inaugural academy, you will become the inaugural service providers representing that day. And this is no small feat. 8 weeks of training, a lifetime of preparation, and an opportunity to serve in the greatest job is second to none. Your training experience and dedication will be critical to the success of this program, as has been mentioned, and a reflection of the trust the thought leaders of Washington County Fire Service and government have in you. Don't let them down. The 8 weeks you've just completed represent that small yet essential component of your career. You shared numerous experiences with your classmates who are now your brothers and sisters that bond you for a lifetime. And you've endured days that seemed endless, I'm sure. We all did if we went through a recruit school. Actually, those days are pretty long if you're teaching a recruit school. And those days are pretty long if you're supervising a recruit program. And those days are long if you're overseeing those types of situations. There's another group of people in this room today who have shouldered this experience with you, and we can never forget, and that's the members of your family here tonight. So while you're on duty, accumulating the experiences that few can relate to, building that unique and timeless relationship spawned from firehouse life, those people are home dealing with everything else. The leaky faucet, the sick kid, the flat tire, the broken water heater, and they're also worrying about your safety. Be sure to thank them for their service and do all you can to return to them at the end of each shift. As mentioned, I've spent a lot of time in part of my career immersed in the safety discipline. And the safety discipline is the discipline that looks at the firefighter injuries and fatalities and sees the way lives are changed in the blink of an eye. Be true to yourself, your instructors, your government leaders, and each other, and get home. There are few callings higher than emergency service work, and no higher obligation on you than to return home to take care of each other and return to your families. So if you would indulge me for just 1 second and give your families a round of applause for all they've endured. As you've probably been wondering, when's this going to end? Well, I want to leave you with a final thought tonight. This career and lifestyle you're about to embark on can be boiled down to 5 factors. It makes it easy if you just remember these 5 factors. And they're arranged in a hierarchy to remind you of your obligation as well as your priorities. They're known quite simply as the M factors. The first one is mission. It's our first priority to fulfill the mission and make that mission as simple as possible. Serve others. Help others. That's it. 2 words. That's all you need to remember. I know there might be a long mission statement, there might be other doctrine that you have to remember, but if you just keep in the back of your mind, help and serve others, you'll be there. That mission is directed at the 911 caller, regardless of their need, but to everyone who you interact with. We have told the public, since Ben Franklin formed the first formal fire department in America, call us when you think you have an emergency. Don't call us when we think you have an emergency. That said, make sure you're handling every citizen, every patient, and everyone else you come in contact with empathy and compassion. Because whether you're on shift or off shift, you are a Department of Emergency Services member of Washington County. The trust we've built over the generations is second to none and is precious to preserve. Remember, no call is insignificant to the person that places the call. The second M is motivation. Ask yourself why you're here tonight, why you made it here, and what your motivation was, and if it's in line with the mission. If your motivation to get into emergency services work was to help others, you're properly aligned. If you had another motivation to get into emergency services work, sometimes self-serving, sometimes a commitment to something else, or something you just wanted to explore, remember, serve others. Next comes members. What are you doing to take care of those you work and serve with? Their needs should come before yours, always. Captains especially. You'd be the last ones to eat, the last ones to the table, the first one to take the lead. A servant's mindset aligns you with the proper motivation to fulfill the mission. And it's not just to the captains, but especially to the captains. The fourth M is morale. What is your frame of mind every day when you come to work? And morale has more to do with how you react to situations and deal with disappointments than it does with what's good for you. Develop a resilient approach to life because life, as we know, is not fair. And your morale will always remain high if you keep in mind that you have a resilient attitude. Your bosses don't come to work each day thinking ways to make your life miserable. When I started as a firefighter, I thought that, and then when I became a boss, I found out there were many more things going on. But neither can they make all of you happy at the same time. Have empathy for what they do because they care about you more than you know. A resilient character will serve you best, keep your members balanced, and motivation focused on the mission. The final M is me, and that me is you. A servant's mindset puts others before self, and that's why it's the final M. That's why it's at the bottom of the list. When you think of others before yourself, your morale remains high, your fellow members are better cared for, your motivation is aligned with the mission, and you fulfill the mission in a 360-degree manner. I can tell by the clock over on the side of the room here that it's time to close up. So I want to extend a sincere congratulations, and thanks for that timer, by the way. Congratulations to each and every one of you on your accomplishment this evening. Wear your uniform proudly, serve for decades healthy, represent Washington County with the highest degree of professionalism, take care of each other and everyone you're called to serve. And most of all, remember, most of all, do everything you can to enjoy that full, productive career and then enjoy a long, healthy retirement to tell everybody else what a great job this was. Thank you very much again for the privilege to address you tonight. It is truly my high honor.
Thank you, Chief John Tippett. Let's give him another round of applause. Well, it says in the program that it's time for the presentation of certificates for the emergency communication specialists, and they will be presented by Shelby Powers Hall, the Division of Emergency Services, Emergency Communications Quality Assurance and Training Coordinator. Each graduate will receive a challenge coin. The coins will be handed to the graduates with their certificates. Some of you might wonder, what is a challenge coin? Well, it's a small coin. It's like a medallion bearing an organization's insignia or emblem and carried by the organization's members. Traditionally, they might be given just to prove membership when challenged to enhance morale. They are also collected by service members and law enforcement personnel. Historically, challenge coins were presented by unit commanders in recognition of special achievement by a member of a unit. They could also be exchanged in recognition of visits to an organization. And so, let's get the Emergency Communications Academy presentation underway. Let's welcome up front here Shelby Powers Hall. Shelby? Ladies and gentlemen, this is the presentation of the graduates for recruit classes 16, 17, and 18. Feel free to applaud wildly and cheer as loud as you want. On the coin, by the way, that each of the graduates receive, it says, "It's all about finding the calm in the chaos." Ladies and gentlemen, I'll go through the entire graduating class, whether they're here or not. They deserve our applause. Nicole Gibson, round of applause. Heather Hawks. Heather Hawks. And here's the presentation of not only a challenge coin, I believe, but also a Washington County pin. Khalees LeCompte, give a round of applause. Next graduate, Kaylee Lucas. And that's what I like. It's okay to stand and pose for a little bit for the picture. That's okay. All righty, next up, Josie Minnick. Kennedy Murray, round of applause. Okay, and now coming up, Aubrey Rill. Aubrey? Aubrey Rill. Next up, Miranda Roberts. Miranda? Next up, Carrie Schmoke Heisen. Carrie? And next up, Mackenzie Smallwood. And now please welcome Kevin Sorto. Kevin? Our next graduate, Emily Stambaugh. Emily? And also please welcome Grace Stokes. Grace? That is our final person present, but Shirley Weaver, give a round of applause also. Congratulations, Shirley. Okay, thank you. And a huge round of applause to all the graduates. All right, let me get this right. At this time, I ask those that are involved in the pinning ceremony of the Firefighter Academy, please proceed to my right of the auditorium to be lined up to come up and enter. Wave over there, Sonia. To come up on that side if you're involved in the pinning ceremony. A little bit of logistics here. I will call the graduating recruits in order as listed on the back of the program. And Sonia is in charge over there. She is our mom. And I've known Sonia a long time. It's her fault that I'm here. Alrighty. While folks are getting lined up, we're right on schedule. This is terrific. And as I sort of vamp and stall for a little bit, I want to remind you, do you remember Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood? Remember the TV show, the great actor Fred Rogers? He once said, when talking about disasters and emergencies, when I was a boy, I would see scary things in the news. My mother would say to me, look for the helpers. You will always find people who are helping. Tonight we are honoring all of these new graduates who will also always be known as the people who help all of us the most. When I was a boy, by the way, I didn't want to become an Assistant Secretary of Commerce. I wanted to be a fireman. My father was a volunteer fireman, and my grandfather was a volunteer fireman. We had a firehouse next to our farm where I grew up, and I was always comforted by the sound of the fire siren and wanted to know where the fire was. I still stand a little taller, or if I'm the MC on television, I sit a little taller when I see the fire units pass by in all the parades. So again, let's congratulate all of our graduates. Okay. I think Sonia's giving me the good sign. We can get started. Now, there will be a challenge coin presented to this Firefighter Academy recruit class number 1. And David Olson, the Academy Recruit Coordinator, is going to be helping out with the presentation of certificates and also the pinning. And this is a lot of fun as the firefighters get pinned. So thank you, David. Is it our dad? Is it our dad, Dad Olson? Okay. So I think we're ready. Here we go. True courage is being afraid and going ahead and doing your job anyhow. That's what courage is. And that's a quote from General Norman Schwarzkopf. The certificates are being presented by Dad David Olson, the Division of Emergency Services, Firefighter Academy Recruit Class number 1, our Academy Recruit Coordinator. So we do the certificates first, this is how it goes, and then the pinning ceremony. So we get started now with Captain Daniel Dushenko. He will receive his pin from his wife, Heather Dushenko. It's an awful lot of things they have to carry as they leave the stage. Here we go. Congratulations, Captain Sarah Gismondi. Did I say that right? Gismondi? Thank you. Give her a round of applause. And, oh, this is wonderful. She's being pinned by her daughter, Emma Teston, and her boyfriend, Mike Althoff. Let's give this a round of applause. You all right, buddy? Delegate Bible said next year we're going to have Velcro. Let's give little Emma a round of applause. Thank you very much, Captain Sarah. Next we have Captain Gary Hoffman. Captain. And he will be pinned by his wife, Megan Hoffman, and a lot of little people. Wow. Congratulations, Captain. Next up we have, it says here, Captain Kevin Schrock. And he is being pinned by Captain Daniel Dushenko. And next up we have Captain Billy Woods. And it says here he is being pinned by his wife, Amanda Woods. There you go. All right, here we go. Our firefighters now. David Abbott Jr. David? And he is going to be pinned by his wife, Brianna Abbott. And a lot of little people also. Next to the stage, graduate Daniel Breeding. Daniel? And he is going to be pinned by his wife, Suzanne Breeding. Graduate, please welcome Adam Carrier. Adam? And he will be pinned by his girlfriend, Fatima Resendez. Dylan Essler. Yeah, Dylan. And it says here he is being pinned by his proud mother, Denise Bazemore, and fiance, Josie Minnick. And he will be pinned by his mother, Karen Mason, and his sister, Jessica Anders. Graduate, please welcome Connor Greenlee. Connor will be pinned by his grandfather, Milt Greenlee.
I'd like to make a comment here if I could. His dad would have been proud of him tonight. We lost him a year and a half ago, suddenly from a massive heart attack. His dad was with Clear Springs. He was a fireman plus an EMT right hand. And he's been proud of you tonight.
welcome next up Aaron Heim. Aaron will be pinned by his father, George Heim. Next up, we have Kyle Lewis. Kyle? And Kyle will be pinned by his girlfriend, Christy Bond. And it says here he will be pinned by his lovely wife, Christine Lovell. Our next graduate, Casey McKnight. Casey? Casey will be pinned by his stepfather, retired Chief Flight Paramedic Tim Gargana, and his mother, Paramedic Firefighter Jen Gargana. Coming to the stage, Corey Malewski. Corey? He will be pinned by his own brother, Cole Malewski. Please welcome to the stage Zachary Morrill. He is being pinned by his father, Lenny Morrill, his mother, June Morrill, and his girlfriend, Megan Rock. the stage, new graduate Jacqueline Moser. She will be pinned by her father, Jimmy Moser. Coming to the stage, new graduate James Picking. And he will be pinned by his wife, Michelle Picking. Graduate, William Rensel. He's going to be pinned by his own son, Garrett Rensel. Garrett said it's not truly pinned unless it draws blood. And now our next graduate. Please welcome to the stage Robert Resch, Jr. He is going to be pinned by his wife, Jenny Resch. Please welcome our next graduate, Edwin Royer II. He is being given his pin by his wife, Daria Royer. Our next graduate, Benjamin Schindel. Benjamin is being pinned by his wife, Samantha Schindel. Our next graduate, please welcome Trevor Snodderly. Trevor. And Trevor is being pinned by his wife, Alexandria Snodderly. Let's please welcome to the stage now, Matthew Spielman. Matthew? Matthew's being pinned by his father, Charles Spielman. Graduate, please welcome Christopher Troutman. Christopher is being pinned by David Olson, Dad Olson himself. Please welcome to the stage our next graduate, Richard Willey. Richard is going to be pinned by his father, Richard Rusty Willey. welcome Andrew Wood. Andrew will be pinned by his son, Aiden Wood, and his daughter, Mercy Wood. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Scott Yates. Scott is being pinned by his brother, Eric Yates. Thank you, gentlemen. It's a moment that this is going to be amazing, but I'd like to bring up, please, three of the graduates who are representing the class as the Academy's speakers. Casey McKnight, Adam Carrier, and Aaron Heim, representing their graduating class. Let's bring them on up. Casey McKnight, Adam Carrier, and Aaron Heim. The microphone is yours. It's a parade.
Good evening, and thank you all for attending the Recruit Class #1 Academy graduation. To those that supported us and guided us along this ever-changing journey, we thank you. To the leadership that supplied us the tools, time, and ability to be successful, we thank you. Our goal as Recruit Class #1 is simply to make you all proud and prove to you that we, the people on this stage right now, will develop this system and do everything in our power to continue its success and provide this undeniable service to the citizens of Washington County. To my fellow brothers and sisters, recruits, and now co-workers, what a few months, am I right? Within a short amount of time, this outstanding group of people took a system in its infancy, full of newcomers combined with a century of knowledge and experience from all places, all over, and grew it into a family. We shared stories, built bonds, shed blood, sweat, and tears, and came out together, united as one. As we continue our journey deployed throughout the county, I wish you nothing but successful days, safe shifts, and hopefully the best years of your career. It is not very often that you get to say you were a defined piece in the upbringing of a county-wide emergency services department. Our success here in Washington County does not come from those above or beyond us. It comes from the people in this room, on this stage. It comes from you. So let's make sure that every day we wear this patch, we learn, we improve, we teach, and we inspire to be the absolute best. Now, I might not be the biggest football fan, but I came across a quote from Tim Tebow, and I think it's appropriate to close with this. Success comes in a lot of ways, but it doesn't come with money, and it doesn't come with fame. It comes from having a meaning in your life, doing what you love, and being passionate about what you do. That's having a life of success. When you have the ability to do what you love what you do, and have the ability to impact people, that's having a life of success. That's what having a life of meaning is.
Again, thank you all for taking time out of your evening to be here with us. Without all of you, this academy would not be possible. We would like to take some time to recognize some of those who have had a hand in training throughout the past 8 weeks. All those who are called to the stage will be presented with one of these shirts and a hooded sweatshirt. We had everybody a shirt made up to help us. So for the next academy, you can all be recognized. So everyone who we call to the stage, please remain until we are concluded.
The first individual we would like to recognize started with us from the beginning at our nature walk, testing us and our skills while playing in the mud and the rain. From there, he continued through the academy and finished the adventure of Recruit Class 1, picking us out of the cold, cold river. Can Technician Keith Hose please come to the stage? Technician Hose, we would like to thank you for your dedication and support to Recruit Class number 1. Next, we would like to recognize an individual who took us on our maiden voyage of driving vehicles bigger and more expensive than your everyday car, we hear, to the fields where he portrayed himself as the bad guy and welted us with simunition rounds during tactical emergency critical care. Can Captain Eric Yates please join us on the stage? Captain Yates, we would like to thank you for your dedication and support to Recruit Class number 1. The next individual was the mastermind behind some of our major team building exercises, starting at the cold, wet, and muddy nature walk, where we found ourselves and started to grow as a team, forcing us into situations we never thought we would be in, like chasing a bad guy through houses and fields. Oh, and we can't forget watching your tactical role. Captain Sean Hartsock, please join us on the stage. That tactical role was on purpose. Captain Hartsock, we would like to thank you for your dedication and support to Recruit Class number 1. Now we would like to recognize the person who was there with us while we stabilized cars and purposefully rolled tankers, and then who tangled us up in our gear and watched us try to make these big guys fit through little holes. Captain Nathan Sauser, please join us on the stage. Captain Sauser, we would like to thank you for your support and dedication to recruit class number 1. The next instructor we would like to recognize is someone who has been there through pretty much everything. From the nature walk to swimming and everywhere and everything in between, he might as well just make work his primary residence, don't tell his coworkers. The stories to tell. Captain Terry Doyle, please join us on stage. Captain Doyle, we would like to thank you for your dedication and support to recruit class number 1.
All right, the next person we would like to recognize has undeniably gone above and beyond, but it might not have been seen to all. From helping us behind the scenes to driving different apparatuses to our classes so we could learn all of them. He has put countless hours into learning every rig he brought just so he could answer any question that we might have had. He has gone out of his way to help the recruit class off duty, and his generosity and knowledge has been a great asset to our success. Coordinator Ole Griffith, please join us on stage. Coordinator Griffith, our greatest assets are the people on our team. Your hard work for Washington County Division of Emergency Services Recruit Class 1 has not gone unnoticed. Thank you for all you've done. Now, it's no secret that with government work, nothing gets done without the countless meetings, phone calls, endless emails, of communications and planning. With that, no academy works without profound logistics. Logistics that these next individuals have worked tirelessly on throughout the academy. It has been stated every day that this academy has been ever-changing. And those changes have been made to not only better us recruits, but better serve the citizens of Washington County. These individuals provided us an environment to work, grow, and learn. They've also provided us with instructors that have poured their heart and soul into this academy. For that, we thank you. Would Director Hayes, Deputy Director Chisholm, and Deputy Director Lewis please join us in the front of the stage. Gentlemen, please accept these awards in recognition of your dedication and commitment to public safety and the deployment of the Combination Fire Service in Washington County. Now, I'd like to read a quote that a wise man once told us. If anybody has the book about how to start a fire department, let me know. The challenges of developing and running a recruit academy are hard enough when there's a template to follow, much less starting from scratch. We had the easy part. Show up wherever we're told, at the time we were told. Every day there was that moment. The recruits know what I mean, right? So in spite of that, his scheduling and management was par excellence. And his incredible depth of knowledge and experience shone through. We were able to do some amazing things during this academy, and it wouldn't have been possible without a tremendous amount of legwork behind the scenes. The Career Fire Service in Washington County is just getting started, and it'll need strong instructors like Technician Olson. He has set the bar high for future academies and helped instruct the future leaders of Washington County Division of Emergency Services. That being said, perhaps his biggest challenge was dealing with his ragtag group of misfits. The challenge of teaching this incorrigible group of pupils is a monumental task, for sure. Technician Olson, please join us on stage. Technician Olson, we thank you with sincere appreciation for your leadership, training, and dedication to Recruit Class 1.
I thought I was prepared. I'm not nervous. So we talked a lot about the future of the fire service in Washington County, so I wanted to talk a little bit about the past. Do you know why officers wear bugles on their collar as a pin? That's a rhetorical question we'll return to later. Different groups memorialize their histories in different ways. Some with holidays, some sing songs, some write history books, some create great monuments. In the fire service, we preserve our culture with our oral history, with storytelling. Whether it be the infamous war stories, we've all heard them and told them. There we were, fire all around us. Or Chief, it was totally my surprise when, or those kitchen table conversations at the morning coffee about how to solve the world's problems. The means of passing on knowledge, history, and traditions is so pervasive in the fire service that it makes firefighters sound like they're speaking a different language. Driving the wagon, hitting the plug, going on a box. To someone not indoctrinated into the fire service, a conversation between two firefighters might as well be in German. Tradition is the bedrock of the emergency services, and it's a proud one that every one of us has chosen to become a part of in Washington County. Rarely is the prospect presented to create a new department and new traditions. The Division of Emergency Services and all of us have been given that opportunity. We will hold on to many traditions from the past, as we should. The kitchen table dialogues with the old timers, those informal apparatus bay conferences with the senior man, and the war story training sessions will still take place. However, we have been afforded the possibility of creating some of our own traditions and creating our own identity as a department. As members of this young department, it is incumbent upon all of us to help build those traditions. We have been given a chance to positively impact the direction, perception, and reputation of the Washington County Division of Emergency Services. Let me change that sentence. It is our responsibility to positively impact the direction, perception, and reputation of the Washington County Division of Emergency Services. A few things that we have learned over the course of our academy can be distilled into a few bullet points. First, excellence is our responsibility. The reputation that the department has will depend on our performance. The white shirts will direct the organization, but the public's only interaction with DES, the Department of Emergency Services, is likely to stop with us. Make it count. Secondly, we exist to answer calls. Unlike the police department, we are not a patrol organization. We are a response organization. We exist to respond to those emergencies whenever and wherever they occur, and to perform. The relationship between the fire department and citizens is paramount to organizational success. Third, you can't train too much for a job that can kill you. This job is inherently dangerous. The minute we become complacent, it will teach you otherwise. So train. Train your body and your mind to be dialed in. And you can do burpees. Lastly, enjoy it. Oh, and the Chiefs wear bugles on their collars because that's how they used to shout orders to their men. On that note, Washington County is in the process of building a new training facility. Recruit Class 1 wanted to start the tradition of presenting the brand new public safety training facility with a plug. This also includes a rock from the same mountain range as the Washington Monument State Park here in Washington County. George Washington, the namesake of Washington County and the reason for the Washington Monument, was charged with building a nation. While our undertaking is not quite that ambitious, we are charged with building a competent, well-trained fire service using the same guiding principles. And I'd like to think we're off to a great start. Please accept this gift and flag from Recruit Class 1 to be displayed at the new training facility as a reminder to future generations of fire and EMS professionals of where it started. Tomorrow, we, DES leadership, existing DES employees, volunteer organizations, and all of us, Recruit Class 1, begin a new chapter in emergency services in Washington County.
We would like to give recognition and thanks to a few people and groups that have helped along the way. I'd like to thank Doug Levine and Sam Mallory at the County Roads Department for all your assistance. Thank you to Tamerlan Photos and the Amazing Academy Photos. Thank you to ASAP Powder Coating. Also, a special thanks to all of Conservate for going above and beyond in helping us. We'd also like to thank every volunteer fire and rescue station in this county for everything that you've done for us as well. And last but not least, a special thanks to Mom, Miss Sonia Hoover, for all her help behind the scenes. This concludes our speeches. Please, everyone on stage, return to your seats. Thank you all, be safe, and remember, class,
life teaches and love reveals. Thank you all.
All right, so return to the seats, right? All right. Well, good thing we're at the halfway point now, folks. Just kidding. We do have a couple of things we're going to do, and I want to bring up Kevin Lewis, our Deputy Director of Administrative Services. All the folks up on stage are going to have to get into the audience to watch a video that's going to come down. I believe there's a screen, and we're going to see a video. So Kevin Lewis will get up to the stage. I got to tell you, this has been the greatest graduation ceremony I've attended all night. Yeah, Kevin, I think this is it.
And Captain Salzer, a couple pages. So, like I said, as they get seated, get back to their position, let me first again, like I said, I want to first begin by basically thanking everybody that has came tonight, everybody that's obviously been able to participate in our recruit graduation #1, and not only those that are able to basically participate here, but for those that have not maybe known it or whatever, I think we've been live streaming or whatever through our Facebook site for others that may have not been able to attend tonight or whatever so they could see this presentation. So again, from my standpoint, thank you to everyone. So in closing, I'll be brief. Like I say, this graduation for the Emergency Communications Academy and Recruit Class 1 would have not been possible without the support of so many people. So often, as citizens, and even as peers in public safety, we take for granted the individuals that have dedicated their lives and their time to provide the invaluable services that are continually being offered here in Washington County, that I will challenge to those not across the state, local, but across the nation and across the country, what we have available in resources and what we do here every day. For those that are graduating from the Emergency Communications Academy, tonight we were actually able to see a face on a person as you walked across the stage in order to receive your certificate. So, as you were able to walk across the stage and we were able to see your face, tomorrow you will be the person on the other end of a telephone answering a 911 call when somebody is potentially having the worst day of their life unfold. You will be unseen, but trust me, your voices will definitely be heard. The instructions you provide will be life-saving. And for those of us on the other side of the radio, your calm voice and demeanor will be reassuring. For those that are graduating from Recruit Class 1, this journey did start about 2 years ago when the county first applied for a state staffing for adequate fire and emergency response SAFER grant. Here we are today, finally graduating Recruit Class number 1. For both the county and I, you have opened a new chapter in public safety playbook. The county is now able to add each of you to the team of public safety professionals, both career and volunteer, that already exist in Washington County, that unfortunately at sometimes goes unnoticed. As new pages unfold every day, you will interact with some that will meet you with open arms, while maybe others will sometimes meet with skepticism. As you have finished up these past 8 weeks refreshing skills, developing additional strengths, and hopefully identifying even some personal weaknesses, don't stop here. Continue to turn new pages, and while maybe correcting some weaknesses, you are actually still helping the mentors along the way, as others, or many, will just stand back in the shadows and watch you while wanting to learn new skills. For all of you, I hope you continue to open up new chapters in your book of life. Continue to enhance your knowledge and your skills through additional education and training. In public safety, the day we quit learning is the day that we should probably look for a different course or profession. By enhancing your knowledge, you will create new opportunities and new chapters. As our profession and our lives are challenged, always remember though, you're never standing alone. Every one of you now has an even larger family that can support you both professionally and as a peer. As we continue to see rises in stress and the reality of suicide, we must continue to support each other and seek and identify and seek assistance when necessary. For me personally, I'm so glad that each of you have decided to join the DES family, or our DES family. To all the other DES family members present tonight, watching from home, or protecting others and the citizens in the community while we are here tonight, I thank you for all your support and assistance that you have provided me to make this day, to make this opportunity and the new chapter in my book even possible. For my wife and family, thank you for all your support as I continue to open new chapters in my life and turn pages every day. And finally, to the personnel of the ECC Academy and Recruit Class number 1. Don't be late tomorrow. Shift starts tomorrow at 7:30. And for all the others that sometime this weekend, I'll actually be downloading time from Telestaff, so you can please check your time cards as we're at the end of yet another pay period. For Wednesday, I have to transmit to Oracle. So for everybody else in the audience, for everybody else that's out there watching, like I say, we've come to the end of our program tonight. I think there's only a few other things left. But again, thank you to everyone.
So what's going to happen is the folks up here are going to get off the stage so that we can show this video presentation of Firefighter Academy Recruit Class number 1. And how is this going to work? Are we going to lower the screen, or are we going to show over here? Right here? All right, here it comes. It's magic. Did you see that? I think it's okay. goes, magic again. That was a great video. Let's give that a round of applause again. Thank you guys for putting that together. And we are at the very, very end of this. One last round of applause for all the graduates. Congratulations again. It is time that we retire the colors. And if you would please stand for the retiring of the colors by our color guard, the IAFF 1605 color guard, with James Martinez, the bagpiper of Montgomery County Firefighters, pipes and drums, and also the entrance of Emergency Communications Academy and the Firefighter Academy Recruit Class number 1. Gentlemen, ladies, please retire the colors.
Class 1, present arm.
Thank you all.
Hey guys, that was a good video.
Thank you.
It was.
Thank you.
Very nice. Thank you too.
Yep.